Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a whole separate discussion and a very loaded one about structuring your campaign in a way that will help you. We've actually done an episode on that. For my listeners, if you look up an episode, I forget his Sean Stone. So if you look up his episode, Sean Stone, he has. We have in fact done two episodes, and one episode was about structuring the campaigns in a way that you can pinpoint. The way he put it was how to structure your campaigns in a way that will help you identify the problem, pinpoint the problem, and bring predictability into your performance. So he used a few other words, but it was all about being able to dig in and very quickly find where the dysfunction is, and it was all about structuring it. And then what happened was, I said to him, so he explained, he said, okay, the first you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And it was all about using the ad groups and the types and everything else. And so I said, so what if you're not set up this way? How do you switch? So he said, well, that's the toughest part, because there is a way to do it, but you have to follow the methodology. And if you don't do it right, you can actually mess up the whole thing. So it's a sensitive thing. I would not advise anybody to go around, changing the campaign structures. But what you are introducing is make sure that customer personas are part of your campaign structure. That's very important, because then you can see how your return on your ad spend and your click-throughs and conversions and all that stuff you can track. This is
Yeah.
great. I mean, it's not easy, but that's the secret to putting up a building, right? It's building block one at a time, and then once you have the right kind of results, you move on to the next one and the next one. That's customer persona by customer persona.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, it's very difficult to overhaul your campaign structure, and there are a lot of ways in which you can shoot yourself in the foot for sure. But I would say, generally what I've found with this exercise is, as you said at the top of the call, I'm often coming onto an account with a fresh pair of eyes and tasked with doing this sort of thing. It's often not the best time to do a complete campaign structure overhaul in order to align with this. Sometimes that is necessary, but you don't need to do that necessarily. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You can adopt this strategy for your net new campaigns that come out of this analysis. And all you have to do is make sure that you're not, overlapping with the existing campaigns. So for example, to use our, competing brand X and safety persona as a campaign structure, you don't need to overhaul all your campaigns to do that. You can just set up that campaign in that way, and then just make sure that you negate all those keywords out of your other campaigns so that they're all consolidated there. And that it doesn't require some major overhaul or, starting from scratch. And if you do that with all of, as you roll out new personas that you're targeting and new initiatives, over time, you'll phase into this new campaign structure without having to, take it on as a big, hairy project.